YouTube, what's going on? JS here. Today I picked up another Glock 19 because frankly I ruined my last one. Be very careful, lesson learned. I went for a cool $150 paint job with multicam, and I went for the high-end stipple job that was like $165. So I put $400 roughly with tax and all that into the Glock 19. I took a gamble on the style and the stipple, took a bigger gamble on the paint job. Reality was I loved the stipple job, but I could not stand the paint job. It was terrible. It bothered me, man. I took it in, showed pictures. You know, you got to be very careful. That's all I can say. Could I have thrown the gauntlet down and told that dude to repaint it? Yeah. It's my home range. I really like those guys. They got the gist that I wasn't happy. Turned around, sold it. Bottom line, restart. So, lesson learned. Big lesson learned. We've all bought things in life. We try to go custom and we overdo it and we not like it. I'll show you some pictures. It was just I wanted big, splotchy, dark camo, and I got like a template, non-blended paint job. And then my stipple job, I removed material in a certain way, and it ended up looking like a toy. So, there's my therapy session, all right? Thanks, Dr. Phil. What do? You sell the shit, you go buy a new one, and you move on, all right? So, I picked up another Glock 19, $559. Before you guys start saying it's too expensive, I don't, give or take $25, $50. If you're in the ballpark, don't sweat it. Here's what's new and different about this one. You guessed it, front serrations. Do I train with front serrations? No, not really. Do I like them? Yeah. It's looks, man. That's all I can tell you. A lot of this stuff is looks. And I train a lot. I shoot a lot. My accuracy's coming down. I'm really into 1911s. I've tried different triggers. You've seen my Zevs. There are things you can do to Glocks to make them shoot a lot better. I probably will experiment and go with Johnny Glocks, get a trigger out there next. For right now, just got home from the store. You're looking at a plain Jane, Generation 4, Glock 19, so blank canvas. Yep, I hear you. Don't screw it up this time, JS. And believe me, that's the thought. I was looking for the markings. A lot of times if they're made in Georgia, they'll have like a Georgia symbol on it. And I think they'll have Georgia here. This one doesn't say that. I think they all say that, made in Austria like that. And on the other side, what's interesting with the regular Glock, this Glock symbol will be up here. Obviously, when they put in the front serrations, they move it back. I do like Wilson's Combats. If you look at their site, but who's going to spend $1,500? Right. Basically, you can get this gun versus that Wilson Combat Glock 19, Gen 3, Gen 4, Gen 5. It's just not worth the money, even though they do extra serrations and stuff. But anyway, front serration, cool. Slide the Glock back. This is, what was I going to say? This one, I think, is their summer edition. So, if you find one in stores and you like the original factory serrations, you may want to think about jumping on it. Again, this was the only one they had. I jumped on it. My home range told me that they had already sold out of theirs, and they were going about $670, $660. So, I talked to my boy Daniel. You guys seen him in my Bravo company. He's told me I got a good deal, even though I went down the street to the competition. Only because they had this model. Summer edition also has night sight, supposedly. This one didn't come with it. These are the crappy factory plasticos. You guys know I don't care about that. These things are gone. I'll put, a lot of guys put high-vis night sights. Me, I'm big into fiber optic sights. This is not going to be my carry gun. This is my range shooting practice Glock. I want one of those. So again, not my carry gun. So I don't mind going with lighter triggers, different setups, maybe put the Zev back. I am looking at Johnny Glock. I've heard about him. He's got a new video from 2018. It looks pretty good. Listening to him talk about how he customized the shoes, do custom, the brakes, the different springs, uses Wolf springs, all that kind of stuff. So You know, I haven't looked at his pricing yet, but I am going to give him a shot. This guy, come on, 3 mags, adjustable back straps. I had forgotten that the cleaning brush clips in right there. That's really it, man. Nothing much to this. 5.5 pound. Nothing special Glock trigger from the factory. Got to upgrade. Oh, and I did notice it came with this extended slide release. I know a lot of guys don't like it. I'll leave it on for now because I don't think I have another one to replace it with. So yeah, I guess this guy's staying on. That's all I can say, guys. This is less about Glock 19 review, more about me finally moving on from my crappy, dissatisfied paint job that I had. And it wasn't even a price thing. I think it's an experience thing. Do reviews. I mean, I had seen him. My armor is really good. He's got the full setup. He could sandblast, bead blast the paint off. It's just, he's not a. I think when you're a painter, painters know how to do it. They keep you from getting dirt and debris and bubbles, and they just know what they're doing. And when you do these camos, they're not stencils where they go one on top of each other. You've got to smooth them out and whatever. It's a whole nother world, man. So that's all I can say. You guys can tell I'm pissed off about my freaking paint job. But, you know. What else? Original Glocks. They come with that copper on it. So you guys can see that copper. There it is. You see that grease in there? It's like religion with some guys. Hey, shoot it till the grease wears out. And I'm not going to do all that. I'm just going to clean this guy up. Pick my favorite lube. Hexagonal rifling. Gen 5s have a different one. I don't really like the Gen 5s. A lot of guys are complaining about the Gen 5s. The Gen 5s will have this hook in here, and they're saying when they were doing the fast reloads, sometimes you can get caught in it like that. Everybody I talked to, even Daniel's store I got this, they just don't sell as many Gen 5s. They sell a lot of those Gen 19Xs. A lot of guys are starting to like those 19Xs. But you know what? I need to go back to basics. I got a boatload of these training Glock 19 mags. I had no choice but to get back into a G19. I do want to get a 17, but all my holsters, all my mags are set up for 19. So once I sold out of that one, I had to get back. If you see my other video about my 1911 training class I did last weekend, KC had the gunfighter oil. And I am a fan of my Geisley oil, but so again, switching oils midstream is interesting. But KC was really pitching this gunfighter oil. I found one video online about it. I went to their website. They've got let's see, what was the gun lubricant, lubrication logistics.com or something like that. And there's a couple of reviews online you can look at about it. So I was thinking that I may go ahead and give it a shot. They're out of South Carolina. It's all bio. It's supposed to be really good. Guy puts it in a freezer, and it doesn't come out gummy or tacky. And then he puts it in really hot, leaves it out in his car. Kind of keeps it simple. These two guys do a decent review. So apparently it can withstand the elements. So I'll probably run this on the Glock. I'll look for wear and tear in the usual spots in here. Let's see. In here, the housing, the hood of the barrel where it contacts, does the lock up. You see wear in here sometimes. And I'm not one of those guys that uses frugal lube. I'll use the hell out of lube. I'll lube it all up. I don't care. Hey, man, you're using too much lube. Who cares? Lube it up to your heart's content, guys. You know, the conservative is you'll hit these 4 points here. Bang, 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 bang. Of course I do that. And then I like to put it on these. I'll kind of wipe mine down. And then I'll definitely put it in these rails. Kind of stand it up like that. And I'll let all the lube just kind of go down. Cycle the slide to frame. Cycle the action. Let it sit. Which is what I do. Sometimes I'll also come, if it's if I think it's going to protect and coat the firearm, I'll kind of do a thin layer over the outside. You just shoot it off. Big deal. You know, it doesn't stay pretty. This crappy plastic sight, look at this from the Glock. It's not even a full circle. Look at that. If you see the top part, it's squared off right there. That's so funny. And then look, got a couple dings. Look at that. Look at that right there. It's kind of crappy, right? But what are you going to do? Summer edition, 2017, beggars can't be choosy. So it was like last year's model. My buddy told me they only do certain runs every now and then, so you got to jump on them if you want it. Other than that, you're doing the aftermarket thing, you know, guys, and come on. You try to either buy an aftermarket kind of 80 rail or slide, or you send them your OEM. A lot of times these OEM manufacturers get the front serrations. It costs a lot of money, and they're point of no return. So if you start putting cuts in, relief cuts, and all this stuff, you better know what you're doing. Come on, look who you're talking to. The guy that just blew it on his paint job. So I'm kind of starting back from square one. Got my front serrations, grooves for my cool factor. And I'm going to enjoy it. This is going to be my shooter. I had forgot when my old one, I had the paint job. I took off my parts and accessories. I had a meg well. So I just ran down and put in the insert. Allen screw there, one there. This thing just slides over, even though there's the finger grips. It's no problem. So I got this puppy on. And it does help with with loading and stuff, you know, as you're feeding it in. So there you go. Very simple. If you're doing a lot of training and stuff, you want one of these. It helps you on your time when you're doing reloads, so you don't get hung up, that kind of stuff. This one doesn't have a hard extreme bevel, but you do see the bevel. You see that? Guides it in, and you definitely have it on the back side with that insert. Anyway, guys, that's JS. Wish me luck. We're out of here. Take care of yourself now. Get out to the range, and definitely go to a place that gives great quality training. You deserve it. Don't just buy a boatload of tools and guns and then never go out and shoot. You know, especially if you're that guy and you're not as comfortable shooting and drawing from the holster, you definitely need training too. All right, guys, take care. JS, we're out of here.